In this extraordinary journey, monster hunter Van Haixing is commissioned by the Vatican to play the hero and save the siblings. But just as he was about to make his heroic speech, these three bat-like creatures turned out to be Dracula's brides of chaos, here to kidnap Anna. However, with Van Haixing's help, things aren't going to be simple. Anna found herself cornered by two vampire brides in a wooden shack. The youngest one stayed outside, keeping a close eye on Van Haixing, ready to launch a tactical surround. Time's up. Just as he was about to fire the crossbow, monsters suddenly crashed into the shack, an unexpected indoor party. Good news. Singles can't find you a match. Don't frown, find someone who can handle you. Set the bar higher, wider, and larger. Finding a partner should be as easy as finding a lunch pad. Just then, the monster made a dramatic exit from the shack. At this point, Van Haixing's sidekick reminded him that the holy water outside the church was the secret weapon. Watching the monster charge, he quickly grabbed the crossbow. Subtitles, he sprinted towards the holy water as if he were chasing after the final elusive cup of coffee, and in the end, Van Haixing received Anna's radiant blessing. He planned to take her home for a good rest, but in the middle of the night, Anna woke up to strange noises. Upon checking, she realized it was just the window left open. Just then, she spotted a man scaling the smooth wall like a gecko. But soon, the man went wild and literally split himself apart, leaving everyone speechless. He turned into a giant werewolf, prompting Van Haixing to rush over at the sound. To avoid hurting his sister, the werewolf chose to escape through the window, while Van Haixing stood outside for this mysterious adventure. Just as he was about to capture the werewolf, Anna stopped him in time, adding a touch of theatrical drama. Anna finally revealed that the werewolf was actually her brother, who got bitten while trying to save her. She had heard that at Dracula's place there existed a method to restore her brother to a human. Despite Van Haixing's protests, Anna was determined to breach Dracula's lair. Meanwhile, Dracula was busying himself with a mysterious experiment in his castle, supposedly creating a living black market tech with 8 corpses. All thanks to God's curse, the little offspring that Dracula birthed were disappointingly lackluster. Subtitles. Thus, he planned to make use of Frankenstein's leftover equipment to patch his little descendants. As the equipment powered up, a current surged through Wilkins' body, covering the buried bat eggs below. When one of the little bats hatched, a swarm of baby bats quickly followed suit. Dracula and his wife were so thrilled by this scene that they nearly took flight. They sent out their whole family squad for a little stroll. However, when they entered the town and started to hunt villagers, their good vibes came to a screeching halt. As one of the little bats got taken down, the rest of them quickly followed suit and turned to dust. The 2 brides, witnessing this, had to fly back to the castle in despair. It seemed like this resurrection experiment was destined to fail, and Dracula felt a massive wave of disappointment hit him. Dracula hoped to be resurrected by relying on the creature, but alas, the creature had already seen the light of day. Just when the scientist tried to flee with the creature, Dracula appeared as if he was just waking from a nap. Consequently, the creature teamed up with the scientist to make their escape, and the villagers were hot on their tails. All at once, the villagers started hurling pots, causing the wooden tower to ignite in a blaze. The creature reached the tower's peak, looking at these humans he had never harmed, and was utterly baffled. Dracula reappeared from the furnace, quenching the flames in an instant. Just then, a shadow burst through the window as 4 figures converged towards the windmill tower. Seeing the vampires arriving, the townsfolk panicked and scattered. Soon after, however, the burning windmill collapsed, burying the creature and his father in flames. Dracula and his bride looked on in grief, realizing that they had lost yet another chance at offspring. The once mighty Dracula had wasted centuries of efforts to procreate due to God's curse. He had aided the scientist, hoping to create a living child. After years of hunting, monster hunter Van Haixing and Anna sought Dracula, only to find themselves above the site of the deadly windmill fire. After a few drinks, little did they know they'd wake up in an ancient cave, clearly where someone had previously hosted a feast. As they explored, the resurrected creature miraculously emerged. After a fierce battle, Van Haixing subdued the creature with some poisoned darts. Upon learning that the creature could resurrect Dracula's offspring, Van Haixing charged ahead to escort it to safety. However, everything wasn't as smooth as imagined. Danger lurked in the purified forest. In a brawl, Dracula's big wife met her demise as Van Haixing failed to foresee all angles. The creature was successfully protected, but Van Haixing got bitten by Anna's wolf brother instead. Before long, he transformed into a werewolf, and as Anna panicked, she encountered the last of Dracula's brides.